There's oftentimes, even though I'm a huge Xbox fan, where I look at things and I go, that's kind of annoying that they're doing that or that that's happening. Obviously, Microsoft has come a long way over the years with the things that they've done, the things that they've announced. I feel like the Xbox Series X is the best console out. I feel like just the way that they've gone about making things, I don't want to say PC-like, because everybody that knows me knows I hate PC gaming, but they've taken some of the good aspects from that, where we have the backwards compatibility, but not just backwards compatibility, because if you have better hardware, that better hardware should play the older games better. And Microsoft was very forward thinking with that, which is why you have so many games on the Xbox Series X and S that are able to do 120 frames per second versus even a PS5, which struggles mightily in that category. So yeah, it's, we're living in a day and age where consoles are doing things at a much roundabout cheaper price than it costs to get a high-end GPU even by itself for PC. So I love the fact that Microsoft is doing this, and they're doing such an amazing job at getting people hyped up for the future and things like that. But then you see stuff like this and you're like, I don't really understand. I don't understand why this is happening. Microsoft continues to fight, continues to do the things that they're supposed to do. But this is just crazy to see. I want to get into it, though. Should be a good video. Hey, what's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos that I do, so please help me out with that. I know it is a small goal, but it is a goal nonetheless. Now, Microsoft apparently is facing even more struggles trying to get this Activision Blizzard deal to go through. They're expecting the UK to oppose the deal as well, with an antitrust warning this week. Apparently, they're reportedly expecting the UK's regulator to oppose the acquisition after the EU issued its own antitrust warning. According to a report in the New York Times, which states that Microsoft's legal team also expects the antitrust authority in Britain to oppose the transaction. And according to the report, Microsoft believes the European Commission is open to potential remedies, and the company is hoping to convince both the UK and the European Union to accept concessions that approve the deal. This in turn could make it easier to reach an agreement with the FTC before a scheduled trial later this year. Now, it's claimed at the same time that it's claimed that any of the three agencies could instead put pressures on the other to oppose the acquisition. So that's something that I feel like would be something that would be, not a good thing. Now, this past December, the FTC announced plans to sue Microsoft in a bid to stop the acquisition, which the regulator argues would enable the company to suppress competitors to its Xbox console, subscription content, and cloud gaming businesses. Now, of course, according to one recent report, the motivation behind the FTC's lawsuit was to attempt to dissuade EU regulators from accepting a settlement allowing the deal. Among other concerns, the FTC and Sony have expressed worries that the deal could significantly reduce PlayStation's ability to compete, given that it would see Microsoft gain ownership of Call of Duty, which again Sony calls ridiculously irreplaceable, which obviously, they got their own things going on and their own exclusives, which they also tried to downplay, and then those things, sell like this incredibly well and just do these amazing things, and then, they're just like, oh, well, it's okay. Those things aren't, exclusives aren't matter, they're not important, blah, blah, blah. But I just think that it's crazy to think that exclusives aren't important. And if you're trying to grow your business, you're trying to grow what you're doing, why not? You're going to need that big name game that's going to be able to kind of, draw in the people. And so I feel like that's where Call of Duty would come in, and it wouldn't even have to be exclusive. People just see, oh, well, Call of Duty, and next thing you know, they're signed up for it. So anyway, in their responses to the FTC complaint, Microsoft and Activision have argued that the merger would be pro-competitive and benefit consumer by making Call of Duty publishers' games more broadly available, including on Nintendo platforms. And also in a bid to address regulatory concerns, Microsoft said it had offered Sony a 10-year legally enforceable contract to make each new Call of Duty game available on PlayStation the same day with the same content that it comes to Xbox. The FTC said earlier in the month that there had been no substantive settlement talks with Microsoft over the proposed acquisition, and if it goes to trial, the case will be judged during hearings set to take place in August of this year. The very interesting thing about this is that Microsoft, they have some of the best lawyers in the world, and they've already repeatedly said, they'll fight this as much as they have to. The FTC itself is 0-6 in such lawsuits, so keep that in mind kind of when we go forward with this stuff, that it's not as cut and dry That's something that, this people go, oh well, this means that it's definitely not going to happen. Not the case at all. Not the case at all. A lot of this stuff was to be expected, and we see Microsoft was always going to fight it, so they're going to continue to fight and continue to do these things to get what they need to get done. And fair is fair, in my opinion. So you've got to be able to get some of these things, kind of working in a certain way, and Microsoft is doing a good job with that. Now, there was a little bit of bad news as well outside of this, which I think, obviously Microsoft is going to be able to do one thing or the other here, but Xbox marketing budget reportedly reduced in the wake of Microsoft layoffs themselves, which means, obviously with all these layoffs, and the marketing is going to go down as well, which is weird considering we haven't really seen much of a marketing from Microsoft recently anyway. While the team at Xbox has been a little more vocal about their upcoming slate of games, namely in the form of developer directs and future showcase announcements, it turns out that the platform's marketing, generally speaking, could actually be reduced. According to Andy Robinson of VGC, Xbox has reduced its marketing budget for future events in the wake of recent layoffs. One of them has no games and the other has no marketing budget, but it is still there, just likely without big booth. In Nintendo's case, they're talking about Nintendo and Microsoft, because this is blowing up. Of course, by no, I don't mean zero, he means reduced. The reporter points out that while the initial comments of no marketing budget was exaggerated somewhat, he believes that it is true that Xbox has reduced the future marketing budgets in some fashions. He says, somebody asked him, how's it possible that Microsoft doesn't have a marketing budget for Xbox? And he responds, it does, just less than before. I'm sure you've seen the wave of cuts across the company. There was also a hiring freeze at one point, according to him. For now, we're not sure what this move could mean. If the reporting is accurate, which take it with a grain of salt at this time, we know that the company is planning its Starfield Direct and an Xbox Summer Showcase. We'd expect these two events to go ahead, of course, as planned. There are in-house projects such the company would like to save money in comparison to attending a third-party event. This could be part of the reason, at least now, why Microsoft is absent from E3 itself. Of course, that's up in the air at the moment. We don't have any official confirmation on Xbox marketing budgets or anything like that, but it makes sense that they would probably cut some of this, and they're not going to be able to do all the things that they would normally do. But I still think clearly we're going to get the showcase and stuff like that, and the smaller ones. This could just mean literally anything, because I already don't think that Microsoft does much in the way of marketing in terms of commercials and things like that. I can't think of the last time that I saw Microsoft do some kind of commercial like that. So we'll see what happens. Could be a very interesting thing to see in the future, but anyway, I mean, this stuff kind of happens. It comes up and goes, and all this kind of stuff. So we'll see where it all levels out. I firmly believe that Microsoft is going to end up getting Activision by the end of the year, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of works out, and how I'm really interested in seeing the reactions from Sony and the PlayStation fanboys when that goes down, because I think that's going to be absolutely hilarious, personally. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see how Microsoft handles this and how the fanboys handle it, because it's going to be funny to see that. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Please sound off, rate, comment, subscribe, rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.